Right. All right. I was feeling good about my set until Ryan said that I would look like a Trader Joe's cashier with my hair in a bun. We went from badass to hair in a. We went from hair in a bun looking badass to hair in a bun looking like a Trader Joe's cashier real quick, man. That's good comedy, though. All right, folks. I lost some weight recently.
Hey, yeah.
Thank you. Yes. It was good for my health, but not good for my comedy. I lost 10% of my body weight, but half my jokes.
Oh, Jesus.
Just telling you. The problem was I looked like Shaggy if he ate Scooby-Doo. Like if he did one of those moves where he vacuums a sandwich from across the room and Scooby was caught, in the line of fire. But I have now reduced down to Shaggy if he'd eaten Daphne. A lot of people are trying to lose weight. I don't know anybody who's in the best shape of their life coming out of the pandemic. Not saying those people aren't out there, just I'm not aware of them. None of them are on my couch smoking weed with me the past 2 years. Shout out to weed. I love weed. Anybody else? Great living in California. It's shitty in a lot of other places though. Like I lived in DC for about 10 years. In DC, the law is that they just changed it 3 years ago, and they say that buying weed is legal now, but selling it is still illegal. That's the city full of politicians. They discussed that, drafted, and passed that law thinking it was a good idea. Now there's a provision, they have this loophole. You can basically give people weed for free. They call it gifting. So dealers would exploit this loophole and they would sell you other items, but they would give you a gift of weed along with that item. Frankly, it was easier when everything was legal. I'd get texts back like, stop asking me for weed, I'm not selling weed anymore, right? I'm I-71 compliant, so I'm selling Ziploc bags. Snack bag's 40, a sandwich bag is 80, and a freezer bag is 200. With each purchase of a bag, you get a gift of weed in the bag. Very convenient. Another guy would sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He'd say, I have Blue Eyes White Dragon or Exodia today. Somebody who didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh growing up, this was really confusing because I didn't know if he was ever talking about weed or Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And frankly, I was too embarrassed to ask. And I wound up smoking a lot more Yu-Gi-Oh cards than I'm comfortable discussing. 28 now, so still young, but I feel I'm aging rapidly in my ability to understand the lexicon of the youth. Might have something to do with me talking like that, but I got caught not knowing what dick appointment meant the other week. Anybody familiar with dick appointment?
Yeah.
You know what that means? Good for you. Everybody else in the audience? Everybody else in the audience like me, dick appointment is basically a booty call, but you set it up days in advance, right? It's very deliberate. Sort of like a trip to the doctor's office versus a trip to the emergency room. You might put it in your calendar with a little eggplant emoji as the notification, a reminder a day before that you have this appointment. Now, I probably never heard of this because nobody's ever tried to schedule time with my penis. Not saying I can't get laid, it's just that no woman with days to think about it ever sleeps with me, right? Like I thrive in the doesn't know me well, desperation, lapse in judgment spaces. So I'm not at all aware of what a dick appointment is, but I'm very familiar with disappointments. That's when somebody doesn't want to have sex with me. I'd like to schedule a dick appointment for myself sometime. Honestly, I think it'd be pretty fun. I think I could be like an executive assistant for my dick, right? Like, hello, this is Richard's office. You have Aiden speaking. Yes, he's available Thursday, but he has 10 drinks scheduled before you, so he's got a hard stop at 1 a.m. I tell that joke, and I get a lot of feedback specifically from elderly people. And they tell me things like, Aiden, young people are ruining the English language, right? The way you speak is an abomination. Nothing makes sense anymore. I love that feedback from elderly people because fuck old people and fuck the way that they talk. It's appalling and creepy. Like I went into one of those fancy razor stores in the mall the other day, one of those fancy shaving stores, and immediately this silver fox behind the counter looked a lot like Robert De Niro over there. Yeah, he was trying to sell me on this razor blade by telling me that it would have my face feeling smoother than a baby's bottom. Because I didn't know if I was giving off pedophile vibes or what it was, but like, dude, why is this your sales pitch? And I'd heard that before, right? Smoother than a baby's bottom. It's a common idiom. I just don't understand why we as a society are so attached to a creepy gold standard for what smoothness is, right? It's time we make a change. Everybody's seen Steph Curry's jump shot. Everybody's heard the Rob Thomas and Santana song, Smooth, right? It's time we adapt to something new. But anyways, in the meantime, I was talking with this guy, going back and forth on whether or not I did want my face to feel like the ass of an infant. And I said, look, man, I don't care what type of blade you sell me. I just need something to chop up cocaine. So that I can snort it off of a smooth baby ass.